I didn't wear a Superman shirt to see Superman like some mark. Okay. When I went to see, by the way, hi everybody, we're live. When I went to see the movie for the second time today, I didn't wear this shirt. I just wore a plain gray t-shirt. And then when I went to see it for the first time this past Friday, I just wore a plain like navy blue t-shirt. I'm not a mark. I mean, I am,
You just hide
but
it.
I am, but I don't want to present like one, like some nerd. I want to act like I've got my shit together. So when I'm sitting in the back row quietly sobbing at the Superman movie, people don't think I'm some weirdo.
No, but people will think you're a weirdo. But the thing is, they won't know why you're a weirdo because you're hiding the S. It's just on the inside.
So anyway, yeah, that's how my day has gone. I saw Superman for the second time this morning.
Yay! Did you still like
And,
it? Does it
oh, I
hold up
loved it.
for a whole week
I
or
loved it.
almost?
I loved it. I loved it more the second time than the first. And like I told you, just if we're slightly late, it's because I was talking about Superman with Dana just now, and I lost track of time. But I think I said after I saw it the first time, but before I posted my review video, I said, and actually, no, I said this at the beginning of my review video. I said, I didn't cry, but it almost got me a couple of times. So this time I did, and it almost got me a couple more times. So, yeah.
So what part? Well, I don't know. Can you tell us what part you actually did cry at? Was it the ending? Or is that a spoiler? If it's a spoiler, you're part to tell
I
us what part.
think
Then don't tell
actually, you
us.
know what? I think I did tear up at the ending. Yeah. And what got me this time, what got like full cry this time, and it's not like I was like shaking and trembling and like,
But just
but like,
leaking from
but
the eyes.
there was a tear, yeah, a tear escaped the eye, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
criteria.
yes, and I think that may have happened at the end because the ending is perfect. I think it happened at the end, but there's also, and again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a moment late in the movie between Superman and Lois that got me. So, yeah. Yeah.
So, well, I'm so
So
glad you
yeah,
enjoyed it so much.
me too. Me too. And tomorrow, actually, well, and then now we get to watch Star Trek together, and then tomorrow we get new Star Trek because it's the premiere of season 3 of Strange New Worlds. So,
Yay!
yes, Caitlin, exactly. Passive voice. I didn't cry. A tear escaped the eye.
Yes. Yes.
The masculine urge to describe my crying in passive voice.
It was the tear. The tear is what did it.
I have no control over my tear ducts.
So yeah. Well, I'm so glad you had such a good time today, and I'm so glad you enjoyed. I'm so glad the movie is, good enough to
really
make you
good.
enjoy it, make you cry.
It's really good. I'm going to see it again as soon as I can.
Well, Caitlin, you heard about it in advance. You haven't missed anything yet.
Oh, Caitlin, you mean Star Trek? You mean Strange New Worlds? Yeah, I mean, the first 2 episodes drop tomorrow. Yeah. Liz says, did you find it moving because you are a big Superman fan, or do you think the movie would be so moving to a more general geeky audience? I honestly don't know, because I am a big Superman fan. I will say some of the stuff that makes me emotional during the movie is like directly related to Superman, but some of it isn't. Some of it is just sort of human, like parents and children,
a good story,
boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff. Yeah, it's stuff that I would think. I can't know for sure because the movie is what it is, but I would imagine in another movie that had nothing to do with Superman that I felt the same way about the characters that it would. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a layering effect. Like there's that universal human experience, but then for you, it's the Superman love on top of that. So extra tears.
One last thing real quick about Superman. And I was saving this. I was saving this for you, Dana, and I was saving this for our wonderful viewers. So I can't show this to you because I didn't think ahead and load it into my streaming software, but I will just describe it and you'll get it. You'll get
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is from Facebook. I was scrolling through Facebook and somebody posted this, and it is, it's a couple of shots from, they're not actually from the movie, but they're from like the set of the movie. And it's Rachel Brosnahan and David Corenswet, Lois Lane and Clark. And the first one is Lois and Clark standing next to each other, and Lois is taking a selfie of them. And then the second is Lois, like Clark is sitting in a chair and Lois is kind of leaning over him, like, you know, talking to him right up close. And they're both from the same scene, so they have the same wardrobe in each shot. And Rachel is wearing, as her Lois Lane costume for this scene, it's in the trailers. It's like a white short sleeve top and a black vest. And I mean, I'm not like, I know absolutely nothing about fashion, but it seems like a perfectly fine Lois Lane outfit to me, right? And someone comments on it, "I'm obsessed with that top." And someone replies to the comment, "She has a name."
Oh
Nicely
my.
done. Nicely done, person who left that comment. So
I wondered about that. I'm like, I'm gonna say top chat.
Oh, I have mine on top chat too. I want it to be on live chat. Yeah.
Yes. I wish live chat was the default.
Me too. Oh, Caitlin, the Daffy and Porky movie. If you watch it, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it more than I did, because
which is a low bar, let me tell you. I'm sorry, Steve.
I mean, because
I wish you would liked it more. Yeah.
And don't let me. I mean, Caitlin, if you want to watch it, please don't. I mean, don't let my opinion of it throw you off. Like, it's entirely possible that you'll watch it and you'll think it's great. But I mean, I watched it and I think I laughed once. You know, like, it's just, I was very, very disappointed at how unfunny it was. Not for lack of trying. Like, I found it very energetic and very lively, you know, and lots of stuff happening, but I just didn't think it was funny. And that sucks for me because I love Porky and I especially love Daffy. Daffy's my favorite. And, you know, yeah.
No shade to Bugs, but Daffy is the best Looney Tunes character.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love Bugs. Bugs is the king, but Daffy's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Daffy is all of us. Daffy suffers. Daffy suffers.
Yep. Yeah. And in the ones where it tries to make Bugs suffer, like there's one that, oh my God, is it Duck Amuck? No. The drawing one where Daffy is talking to the artist.
Isn't that Duck Amuck?
You know the one. Is that Duck Amuck?
I feel like that's where he's talking to the artist. Yeah. Because the artist, spoiler alert for like a 70-year-old cartoon, the artist turns out to be Bugs.
You know, they flipped that, right? They did a later one and they flipped it and it does not work, like, at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because Daffy really is an asshole. I mean, and Bugs says, "Ain't I a stinker?" Yes, he is. And Daffy suffers, but like there, I mean, there's no like it should be like Lex Luthor, like psychotic level, because he's doing this. He is making Daffy suffer for his own amusement. There's no other reason. He finds it funny. Like, that's so twisted.
And he's tormenting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I demand you show yourself. And he's just like miserable. And it's completely Bugs' fault and completely in Bugs' control. And he's doing it for his own amusement. But like, I would have to like spend much more time than we are willing to devote to figuring out why that works, because it shouldn't. Like, I mean, it's such a terrible thing to do. I guess because there's really no stakes to it. There's no consequence. It's just Daffy is trying to go along with the story. The story keeps changing, and he gets frustrated because he can't do, I mean, his job, you know, a la Roger Rabbit. But You
Well, I
know,
think that's a big part of it. I think it's
there.
it's often funny to see people trying and failing,
Mm-hmm.
but they're sincerely trying really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But also, it's a cartoon and it can be changed. I mean, we see it changing
yeah,
in the cartoon itself. So there's no real negative consequences. Like he's suffering in the moment, but only because he's invested. And so he's really overreacting because the situation is not inherently serious. So some of the suffering is his own fault for not just letting go and going with the flow. You know, just
yeah,
going like, okay, this has changed. You know, so
yeah, yeah. It reminds me of an interview with David Hyde Pierce from CBS Sunday Morning that has been like a clip of it has been going around on the internet lately, and I've seen it a few times, like recommended to me like on a Facebook reel or something. And he's describing the filming of a scene from Frasier, and it's one of the classic sort of like slapstick sequences from that series where like Niles is alone in Frasier's apartment, and he just goes through this ridiculous comedy of errors, where like, things catch fire and he tries to put it out and it just keeps getting worse.
mm-hmm.
And he says in this interview, like as they were rehearsing it, the director came up to him and he said, just remember, at any given moment, it's going to work out. And that's like, and that was because like, so everything he does as he continues to fail, everything he tries, he's sure this time it's going to fix it, and it doesn't. So now he's got to go try something else, and now he's sure that this is going to fix it, and it doesn't. And it just, so that, that it's not just that it escalates, it's that it escalates while he is absolutely sure this time he's got it figured out and he's going to solve the problem. Lancius Maximus, it was a Superman conversation. Yeah, Danish just said it. It was
past tense.
Past tense. I mean, it may be again at some point. I can almost guarantee it's going to be a Star Trek conversation, and at some point tonight, because we're going to watch some Star Trek here coming up. But yeah, how about you? How was your? Oh, go ahead.
I will say, I think this is the episode I have looked forward to the most.
Really? How come?
Well, first of all, basically Odo is dead. Odo is dead. Like the person that they have now looks like Odo, but is a different person. Is fundamentally changed. And I am somewhat interested to see how, because I know this is a slightly ongoing story. I don't know how many more episodes we have in this arc.
This is the last one.
Oh, well.
This is the end of the arc.
I'm interested in seeing how they wrap that up and bring him back, because they're going to bring him back. Ta-da!
Oh, sure. Yeah. And by the way, Caitlin, you mentioned about the Bugs and Daffy, the Daffy and Porky movie. You said, even if you find the writing boring, I know I'm going to love analyzing the painted backgrounds. That's one thing I will say about it. That's the best part about it. It is gorgeous. It's beautifully animated. It looks great. So if that's, important to you, I think you'll definitely enjoy that part of it. Because I was disappointed in the writing, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see how they'll. So I guess they're not really going to deal with the Odo being dead thing, but it's a nice, analogy. And also because basically he chose death. He didn't really know that was going to cause the version of himself that he was to change so fundamentally that he became a different person. He thought he could handle it, and then he couldn't. Michael Adams, yes. If you're going to have
commercials, you'll have to use the time code if you want to catch up
and kind of skip ahead and see where we're at. Maybe on some of the slower scenes, I guess, be like, okay, I can skip ahead to where they're at, or even go, ahead or whatever. And I'm interested to see how they resolve it, and then also how / if he deals with any of that fallout. I'm presuming there probably won't be too many consequences, but they've picked up some stuff later on, so I'm kind of interested for that. So I'm interested to see how that gets resolved.
I'm interested to see how you like it, how you react to it. So
awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. 255 AD says, earlier today I watched a vid that was basically shaming people for making fun of regretful Trump voters, not because they don't deserve it, but just because it's not at all productive. Well, neither is courting them.
Yeah. Well,
That has
I mean,
been
the other
go
thing
ahead.
is we don't make fun of them for, as a way to be effective. It's more assuaging our own pain. You know, it's yeah.
Yeah,
So
like I mean, I've said for years, I've said ever since Trump was elected the first time, and even before this, I wish Democrats would stop trying to flip Republicans to vote for them because it's a waste of time. And there are other people that are available to vote for them besides fucking Republicans. And the mainstream Democratic Party, there are other Democrats that get this, but the DNC is still in this mindset of we have to play to the center, we have to pull people off from the right, or we're not going to win. And it's like, no, that's not the only way to go. So yeah, I mean, if someone says, "Oh no, don't make fun of regretful Trump voters," because I mean, yeah, okay, maybe some of them will jump to our side, but I will bet you the number of people who voted for Trump who are now willing to say they regret it is a much, much, much larger number than the number of people who voted for Trump, regret it, and are willing to vote for a Democrat.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I
why
mean?
I always fall when somebody's like, when it talked about, I didn't vote for this. It's like, okay, if you've realized that, what are you going to do about it? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I just and I do think at the practical level, not so much at the policy level, but in terms of like actively courting voters, like who they call, it's and who they go and talk to when you're door knocking. It's they don't send us to talk to Republicans. They send us to talk to potential, people that they think will vote Democrat, that they want to make
Oh,
sure, do
sure.
you have a voting plan? And some of that some of that is safety reasons, especially around here. But you know, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
think
mean,
some of it also,
when I was writing postcards last year, it was the same deal. And there was
yeah,
no safety factor there. It was like, no, these are people that we think are
or
either
we want to make sure
reliable
they get out.
voters
Yeah.
or would be reliable. Yeah, like these are people that we know would vote for us or will vote for us. And this is just a way of sort of, prepping them, reminding them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a waste of time to reach out to Republicans. I'm not saying that you won't flip anybody, but I really highly doubt you'll flip enough to make, a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I would be really interesting. I haven't, like, around here, I haven't heard someone say, you know, I regret voting for Trump, or I wish I hadn't voted for Trump, because I want to say, okay, so what are you going to,
Yeah.
I want to know what they would say, because the only ones that I see are somebody reposting somebody else's video, and so I never get a chance to say to that person, okay, so now what? Now what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I'm just,
yeah. 255 AD. I mean, I don't think that dunking on regretful Trump voters ought to be like a main focus. Like, I don't think you should be building your whole personality around it. But I don't really see a reason to like make a special effort to avoid it. And honestly, I mean, I'm not like I usually just stop at, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Like, if you're regretful, like, oh, you voted for him, the last 3 times, but now it's finally you've had your limit. Now it's the last straw. Well, fuck you.
Aaron Fire says, at the same time, Republicans flipped a lot of Democrats in 2024. I'm not sure that they did. Like,
I don't think they did.
We've seen increased, like, Republicans also increased their voter turnout. That's that, and possibly there was fraud.
Well, I mean, I'd be careful about how much weight we put on the fraud claims.
That's why I said and possibly. But I really think the one thing Trump has done that is potentially arguably good is increase voter turnout, because more people turned out to vote for him and more people turned out to vote against him. Yeah. So that's a good thing. I don't think the result was good. I don't think it happened for the right reasons, but increased voter turnout is positive. I just wish there were more positives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Azalea Jane, exactly. You know, I try not to be too antagonistic, but sometimes I'm just like,
yeah.
I feel like Iago, Rock, what's coming for you? What's coming to you? Jeez, where'd you dig this bozo up?
Well, and also, and I mean, you know me, Dana, if I have a joke, I'm going to make it. You know, like
leopards, faces, you know the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, that's why I've done a few of those voters remorse helpline skits. I think I've only done 3. I probably could have like forced myself to crank out a whole bunch more. But I mean, I've done them when I felt like doing them, when I felt like there was a specific thing to respond to, you know, because otherwise, you know, it's like
it gets repetitive.
Yeah,
it does.
Oh, and 255 ED just mentioned it. Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, I have no problem with making fun of regretful Trump voters. I would just caution people not to overestimate the number of them, because I really don't think there are that many of them. And also, I don't think most of the ones that there are going to vote Democrat next time. And that's way more important to me, you know?
255 AD, he's basically not the same kind of person anymore. He has had a fundamental character change. He is not able to think of his friends as significant people. They don't matter to him anymore.
Yeah. He's not dead. He's
not physically dead. He has changed into he's changed into a different type of existence. That's what death is. And they can, you know, I'm sure they'll bring him back, but it's basically going to be a fundamental change in the reverse. So basically coming back from the dead. So
he's going to say, "What was I thinking?"
Yeah. Can you ever forgive me? And the next episode, everything will be back to normal. Ta-da!
Weekly episodic television. He's dead to Dana, David says. You might not be dead, but you're dead to me.
So yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, he's come back as a ghost, sort of. You know, he's transcended.
Yeah.
You know,
a shape-shifting ghost.
Yep. Yeah, I've had a pretty crappy day. This is the highlight of my day. Which is not to diss this, but I've been really looking forward to this because I knew I was going to enjoy it. I woke up and I wasn't feeling good, and I haven't been feeling good all day, and just like I tried to get more sleep and just and you know, I don't know how much of it is that I'm menstruating and I'm a little crampy, and how much of it is I just, you know, haven't been sleeping well since my meds changed. I don't know. Didn't feel good. Something more. Felt bad about not doing anything today, because you know how I like doing things that matter. I'm a teacher, you know, the whole purpose thing is kind of my jam. And I did basically nothing for like until after lunchtime. Like I didn't even eat lunch until like I had a salad right before I went to tutoring. And then tutoring went well. I had a little break in there, read one of the library books. I had more books come in further behind. And also I'm carrying a little bit of glump, because yesterday was new employee orientation. And we just, I went there I'm not a new employee, but I went there representing the union with some of the other officers. And we just didn't get very many people to sign up. And I think last year was the first year that I was able to help out, because the previous year I went to the NEA National Assembly, and it was at the same time. It overlapped. I was like, dang it, I can't go to both. And that was my first year as an officer. So, you know, it was the first year I was doing stuff like that. And that was awesome. And then last year I went to new employee orientation instead of going to the representative assembly, because it was like further away. I think it was like in Portland or something. And then we had like tons of people, just like we were busy the whole time. And they're like, usually we have like 6 people sign up, and we had like 20. So it was like way more than usual.
Great.
I mean, that was when, the book bans were real, and the pressure of school teachers. We had the teacher in Georgia was one who lost her job for reading, I think, All Crayons Aren't Purple. And so the union was representing her, and so there was, that was in the news, and that was part of it. But like, there just wasn't as much traffic, and like we were anticipating, like we budgeted more for like snacks and swag and stuff, and then just didn't have the traffic. And we did get some new members, but it was like 6 again. I was like, I don't know. So it's just it's hard because I guess most people don't value the same things I do, because like my spiel, like everybody else talks about how you need representation, you need to have, you need to be covered for, in case you get sued or something like that, or you are in danger of losing your job, you need representation. So you need an association, and ours costs the most, but it also provides the most support. And I'm just like, yes, you need that. All the associations provide that. What ours provide that nobody else does is we have a local chapter, we have a community, and you can make a difference, not just with your students, but with your colleagues. You can be connected. We support each other. And I'm like, that makes all the difference. That is a significant difference. None of the other associations provide that. It's so important. But like, nobody else seems to like latch onto it the way I do. And I'm just like, I'm just different. I don't fit in. I should be used to that by now. But I'm just like,
it is a little strange that like people who have chosen teaching as a profession aren't more interested in that, because like me personally, I would not be receptive to that pitch, just because I'd be like, sure sounds like I'm going to have to spend a lot more time with these people. No thanks. But I'm not a teacher, and I did not choose a profession that, inherently calls on me to interact with people at various levels, like on a constant basis. It seems like if you've chosen that as your job, at least more of them would be, more receptive to that argument.
Maybe, but the other thing that occurs to me is like, teaching is exhausting, and the idea of doing more work unpaid, I'm not paid as an officer, there's that, it's like more, but there's also, if you don't take care of yourself and we don't take care of each other, how are we going to take care of the kids? And 255 AD, the phrase that I use a lot is educator working conditions are student learning conditions. I used to say teacher working conditions, but I've gotten away from that, because we also, we also involve paraprofessionals, school nurses, custodians, the librarian. So everybody who's an educator, not just
covers
teachers.
Everybody.
Yeah. So I try to frame it that way more, but it really is, if there are larger class sizes, make our workload tougher, but also it means that there's one of us, and now there's more student, each student gets less of my attention, and so that affects them. If my pay is so low that I'm having trouble paying my bills, the idea is you leave that stress outside the classroom door. No, like it doesn't just go away when I'm in the classroom. You can't
just flip a switch. Sorry. Maybe some people can, but most people can't just be like,
even those who can,
not going to think about that.
Still there, Yeah. So yeah. And then I do want to touch on Snakebit Cat. You started reading the murder books after enjoying the show. Oh, I want to watch the show so bad. I've read the books. They're so good, and I've heard good things about the show. So I'm really hoping we're gonna probably next week do our 1 week free trial of Apple TV.
On Apple TV.
And watch the whole thing. Just boom, 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 boom.
It's gotten pretty good reviews. I mean, I haven't watched it either, but yeah. So I want to segue into the actual episode.
Yeah, because it's already 6:30.
Yeah, we've been babbling for half an hour. Caitlin said earlier, you always got to have at least 2 heavy books for flattening papers and so on. Also, my brain played Homer Simpson going, look at me, I love my bookie books for some reason. I love it's, and when Homer says that, he's making fun of Bart. So that's an episode where Bart joins the junior campers, which is the Simpsons version of the Boy Scouts. And he's in his room studying the manual. And Homer walks by the door and goes, oh, look, if it isn't the leader of the Wiener Patrol, boning up on his nerd lessons. And then Marge hears Homer say that and kind of, yells at him to knock it off, and Homer's about to leave, and then he comes back and he goes, "Egghead likes his bookie wooks."
I mean, I like my bookie books.
So
I mean, you see there I have a few of my favorites set up right there, but like, I mean, I guess maybe you've seen the pictures of just like the walls of books in your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, Caitlin, you got the important part. Bookie Wook is the important part of that.
So I do want to address 255 AD. I strongly disagree. I think there should still be private options. Homeschooling, both homeschooling and private schooling, I think need more oversight. I really do. My experience with homeschooling is what I call the reverse bell curve. There's very little in the middle. There are some parents who have, privilege or relatively wealthy, especially if, only one parent has to work outside the home. It works so much better for them. But there are other parents who pull their kids out of school because they don't want them getting indoctrinated, and then, maybe put them in front of a computer or hand them a set of books and say, go to it. And it's neglect. And it's,
I'm not going to say that every single family that homeschools their kids is like doing something bad or something wrong, but it is something that automatically gets side eye from me. Like, I just, if I hear that, and it doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter what political persuasion they are. If I hear that somebody is, well, we're homeschooling our kids, I'm immediately like, okay, you're on my, you're on my potentially. Don't just, don't bother talking to this person.
I will say the ones who do it well, in my experience, a lot of it's because they have children with special needs, and our special ed departments, no matter where you are, even in a good school district, they're just over tapped. The Title I, Title III resources, even without the funds being frozen and not released after they've been earmarked, even without that, they're always stretched. They're always teachers are stretched thin already, and then just add students with varying special needs on top of that. If you know your kid, and if you can provide what they need specific for their situation, you might have the opportunity to do a better job than a public school can. So, all right.
So shall we? You want to tell the people how this works, and we'll start watching.
Yes,
we're watching season 6, episode 6 of Deep Space Nine, Sacrifice of Angels. So Dana, go for it.
So if you've already got that pulled up, we're watching on Paramount Plus. You want to try to stop it at 0000. Just hit pause there. And then Steve is going to count us in. He's going to say 3, 2, 1, play, and have your finger over the cursor or your thumb on the remote or whatever. When Steve says play, we all press play together, and then we watch it through. If you are watching something with ads, or you get the spinning wheel of death, or whatever reason, if you get stuck, you can look at the time code up here someplace and just sort of pull your scroll bar to where you're with us. We'll be talking about it in the chat from time to time, and there will be occasional running commentary, but a lot of it's going to be just us watching the screen,
watching the show.
So yeah.
All right. Air One Fire says, how do you remember all the Simpsons quotes so exactly? I don't remember all of them. I remember the ones I remember. All right. And sometimes I don't remember them exactly. Sometimes I think I've remembered them exactly, and then I'll watch that episode again after a very long time, and I will discover, much to my chagrin, that I have not remembered it exactly, even though I was positive that I did. Okay. Everybody ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready. I'll count this in as Dana said. 3, 2, 1, play, and everybody hit play when I say play. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, wait, it's really loud. Why is it so loud? Holy moly, that's loud. No, you're not.
Mr. I love the ads, exactly.
Night, Air, Wind, Fire. Oh, Caitlin, fun fact.
That's really neat. I didn't know that.
Okay, Captain B. Ryle. First of all, welcome. It should say, does it say on the screen which one we're watching? It's Deep Space Nine, season
6, episode 6. Yeah.
Episode 6.
Sacrifice of Angels.
This is where we're at in playback and watching that episode. So, like, pull that up and then scroll to where we're at, and you can watch it along with us. And there'll be a little bit of commentary in the chat here and just on here a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, they're quoting. They're Gettysburging.
Yeah. This isn't good, guys. This is a bad analogy. Yeah. You realize they all got mowed down and they didn't win. Like, they didn't win.
I want somebody to turn to them and go, would you just stop with the fucking Joshua Chamberlain horse shit, please? It's like in not Gettysburg, the sequel, I know the prequel, Gods and Generals, where Colonel Chamberlain is like they're in the middle of like a Civil War battle and guns and cannon are going off all over the place, and there's fucking poor Jeff Daniels as Joshua Chamberlain. And they've got him, he's standing there watching the battle and he's quoting Cicero like he's, giving a dramatic monologue on a stage. And I'm just like, this poor actor having to fucking do this.
Oh, Debbie, I hope your husband gets better soon. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Debbie. 255 AD. I don't know any of them. I guess maybe some of them do. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, Antietam. I mean, yeah, Gettysburg is more well known, and I mean, honestly, Gettysburg was a more important battle. But yeah, I mean, Antietam is not exactly a, yeah.
If anything, the historical preservationists might be glad to be almost less well known, because then that it means more job security from them, because they have, since they're not as well known, more people need to know about it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's not like Antietam's not well known. It's probably the second most well known battle of the Civil War. Oh, thank you, Captain B. Ryle.
Oh, Debbie, that's hard. Mm. You dumb numbskull! Don't be perfectly honest.
Don't ever be perfectly honest with Ducat.
You can't be perfectly honest with fascists. Like, stop! Why? How are you still alive? How did you get to this age? What?
Oh. I just wish she loved you as much as I do.
No smooches in front of the crew. He has to.
What if we unplug it? An explodey bomb. I'm guessing interrogative questions. Just not a hint of hubris at all in Damar, is there? Not even a little tiny bit.
Dun, dun, dun! Caitlin, until you
He's
posted
kind of a
that,
creep, isn't he?
I didn't even think about it. I just thought it was because she was Rom's wife. Okay, Admiral Squid.
Or they get blown up. That goes without saying. I don't know why I even added that. Look at the ships flying toward the other ships.
Give us some technical jargon on our side.
Technobabble the technobabble and hurry. I hate you. Mm-hmm.
Liz Hills, we fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. It's like he's a pet who's done something bad. Squirt him.
Shh. What a nice guy. He's just a nice, tolerant guy.
Oh, lovely. Have they named any of their parks or avenues after me?
Why aren't there any Hitler statues in Poland? I don't get it.
In 255 AD, that they just gloss right past the fact of why Earth would be central. Like, we're just not going to explain that. The reason it's central is because y'all, the audience, is Earthlings.
You know this, yeah.
And we're going to destroy your planet, therefore you're invested. Yeah. Not me.
Well, I mean, it is also the site of Starfleet and Federation headquarters.
Also don't care.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for a, an in-world explanation.
Yeah, but nobody cares about the admirals. They're the bad guys anyway. Wow, you really suck at this, lady.
I mean, can't she just like grab him and link with him? Oh no, they're destroying all the old models. Bum bum bum.
Greg, exactly. It's like in the Trojan, I think it's the Trojan women, starts with the death of Oceanox. They take Hector's son away from Andromache, take him up to the battlements and toss him off. He's like 3. But no, you can't leave the the royal heir alive if you're taken over. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom.
$255 AD, yeah, and it's a good thing they have all those loyal androids to help them build the ships too, huh?
Yay for heading home, Snake Bit Cat. Oh, come on. I thought he was going to say, I say we help him out. Because I'm just a nice guy. I'm so helpful.
Are you old enough to drink? Why aren't you ever at my bar? Okay, but don't get mad if it's your dish under here and you find you've been chopped. Hey, there's a hacksaw in here. What the heck?
Oh, it fell. 40 seconds less than the last time you asked.
Yeah.
Wow. He knows how wordy Ducat is.
Yeah.
What? No. Okay. When in doubt, just shoot it. He's not confused. He's conflicted. There's a difference. Precision matters. Yeah, Greg, exactly. I'm like I mean, I guess I don't know why they drew it out, but I mean, maybe they just needed to fill 20 more seconds of episode.
Yeah.
Just
I'll be fine. I have a box set of Magnum PI I haven't even started yet.
Liz, I feel like she held back. There's plenty that he doesn't know, especially about her and her intentions the whole way through.
She just wants to use it to control him. She can tell that he's starting
Yeah,
to have his
it
doubts.
makes him more susceptible.
Yeah.
Have your weapons ready, doofus.
H.B. Haggett, exactly.
Captain, they were not going for a humorous scene in that, but I like
that would have
image.
been silly. Yeah, that would have been silly.
It always goes down to one on the show.
Yep. Rom, can't you wave that thing at that other thing any faster? Ducat's about to have his downfall moment.
Stop talking about it and do it.
Okay, then.
I think we do now.
Garrick's like, all right. Azalea and Liz, I
Dun.
agree with you. Yeah, the Rom being too late, and then
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
it gets really good from here.
Yeah, Caitlin. I'm a corporeal being, and it seems to concern you. So,
right. Word nerd.
Although
Boy,
that
ain't
doesn't
that the
allow him
truth.
to chew the scenery as much as this. Word nerd, exactly. You're gonna find out.
Azalea, that's maybe my favorite Ducat moment in the whole series.
Kara, it's also a fundamental question in the ship Black Pearl Green, no, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caitlin. Ducat mental break now in progress.
Just kind of staggering around like.
Anybody else feel like they're in a Twilight Zone all of a sudden? Found her coming through.
Michael Adams, that's a nice one.
The end.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, what did you think? How did it match up to your hopes and expectations?
The Odo thing about what I was expecting. Oh, he changed his mind. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Yeah, as the alien and captain, I have no idea about the baseball. Like,
well, he had it with him when they were on the bridge, like throughout the entire battle. He just, he just was still holding on to it.
So he had his daughter in one arm and the baseball in the other hand.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could see he's dexterous. He can do both at once. Yeah. So a couple of people mentioned in the chat about like just sort of how well structured the final portion of the episode is. Yeah, it's, I mean, what I love about it, and I'll see what you have to say, Dana, if you agree or what.
Go for it.
But I love the fake out with what Rom is doing, where you assume Rom's gonna succeed, that Rom's gonna, he's gonna do what he's trying to do, and it'll work, and in the nick of time, and then it doesn't. And they even do they actually have him like think he succeeded, where he's like, got it, but it's too late. So I really love that.
That was well done.
Yeah. And then I love the stuff with Cisco and the prophets and the wormhole, because it's a Deus Ex Machina, but it's not at the same time, because it's, they I mean, it doesn't come back until later in the series, but they do extract a price from Cisco. Like, they don't just help him because he's their guy. Like, he has to kind of convince them, and then they say, okay, we'll help you, but you'll find no peace on Bajor, which is something that they set up earlier in this season already, where he said, I'm going to make my home on Bajor. Like, even if Starfleet gives me another assignment after this and I have to go somewhere else, when I come home, I'm going to come home here. Like, Cisco has decided he wants to stay on Bajor. Now the prophets are telling him, you're not going to get to do that, but that's his sacrifice for having them basically save the world. Yeah. And then and what I really love is the way, and it's another brilliant reversal. They lead you down a particular path, and then they double cross you with Zial being shot, because they really because like Dukat and Zial have their little reunion, And then there's that moment where he says, okay, let's go home. And she says, you know, basically, I'm not going home. I want to stay here.
And you think
And so
that's the beat.
you think, yeah, you think that's it. You think like they're going to have like this bitter separation, and you're prepared for that to be the thing. And then Damar kills her. And then Ducat ends up in a completely different place than I expected him to be. Like when I watched this for the first time, like I did not expect, especially after we had been led this far into the episode, I did not expect it was going to end with Ducat like basically under arrest. I figured Ducat was going to get away, you know, to come
recurring villain.
Yeah. So to have him, and then to end it with, he gives Cisco the baseball back. That's just what a perfect moment to end it on. So, yeah, anyway, what did you think?
I liked him giving Cisco the baseball back and saying, I forgive you.
Yeah.
Because he is saying that under trauma.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, you know, we get him as a recurring villain again, and he gets to say, yeah, I meant it at the time, but I changed my mind. I don't forgive you. You know, screw you.
Oh,
you know, I do hold you responsible for my daughter's death. You know, not the only one, but I hold you responsible. And it's not enough to kill you. I'm going to kill your son. You know, that needs to be his move. You know,
I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, there is coming up in a few more episodes in this season. There's another big Ducat Cisco episode where some of what you're saying, not everything you're saying, but some of what you're saying definitely comes back. So, yeah.
It was definitely good that number 2 ran for the ship when he did, because, you know, she was still dying, and like if she was dead, so was he. Let's be clear on that. Like he was gonna get his throat ripped out.
Yeah, Ducat was not you are not getting promoted, Damar. Not after this.
Kurt, you say I hate what the prophets did. I'm not sure what you mean. There were a couple things
because of the Deus Ex Machina thing, Kara, or what? I mean,
I wasn't real keen on that scene. Yeah, I just wasn't a big fan of that scene. They're like, we don't want to interfere. I'm like, yes, you do interfere. I mean, just to say that you know that you don't care about.
Well, but I mean, that's the characters. Well, I don't know why you're you know dinging the scene for the characters being a little hypocritical. I mean, that's just,
no. Being inconsistent. I mean, for them to say things that are factually inaccurate. Like it was not narratively framed that they were lying or trying to be deceptive. And if they were trying to be deceptive, they were doing a shit job of it.
Well, can't they have biases? Can't they have like incorrect preconceptions? I mean,
oh, that's fine. Then that's the case of this is not the appropriate time for us to be involved in, you know, physical concerns, you know, but like to say we do not get involved in, they didn't say moral, they didn't say physical. What did they say? Anyway, you know, we do not get involved in corporeal. There you go. That was what they said. We do not get involved in corporeal concerns. No, that's just factually inaccurate. You're supposed to be gods. Like it seems weird for them to say things that are just observably inaccurate. I was just, but you know, hand wave that stuff. You know, when you have like something like the Qs or the Borg, something, you know, a truly alien being, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to have fun miscommunications that stem from, you know, fundamental differentness of being. And that just wasn't exerted here. I realize that wasn't the purpose of the scene, but the scene went on for longer than it needed to for its purpose of, you know, establishing that yes, they were going to extract a price from Cisco, and then they were going to whoop the ships away. But again, maybe they just needed to fill time, and they did let Cisco choose some scenery. I just I didn't care about it as much because I don't care about the founders. Or yeah, they're the founders. He's a prophet. I don't care about them. Wait, no, are they? They're not the founders.
The founders are the shapeshifters.
Yeah. So what are they?
The prophets.
I thought he was the
Or
prophets.
the wormhole aliens.
Anyway,
Sometimes they're called the wormhole aliens. Sometimes
whoever
they're
they
called the
are.
prophets. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, the Bajorans called them the prophets, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what do they call Cisco? Because he's not a prophet.
No, he's the emissary. He's the
the
emissary.
emissary. The emissary. That's what it is.
Yes.
See, I think he's like the messenger for these people, so that makes him a prophet. But they're the prophets.
I know it's a little. The phrasing is a little. Yeah.
It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
The vocabulary is a little weird.
The prophets are the god, and the prophet is the emissary. Okay, sure.
So
yeah, Kara, I'm fine with that. I don't mind having. I don't mind heaping misery on characters. I think that's what stories
they're not
are
real.
for.
It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're not real. Make Cisco as miserable as you want, as long as it's a good story.
Well, and also they said he will not have peace on Bajor, which is fine. He can retire somewhere else. You know, there's a whole freaking galaxy out there.
That would be hilarious if it turned. That would be hilarious if it turned out that was it. Like he just had to just retire on some other planet, and he was fine. And the prophets were like, "Were we a little hard on the Cisco back there?" And they're like, "No, I think he's okay.
He's good. It's all good."
I mean, he had his heart set on Bajor, but you know, he got over it.
255 AD asked this a couple times. How do you feel about the idea Odo probably would have let everyone else die if it wasn't just for Kira? Like, can he still be seen as a good guy character? I don't know that I ever saw him as a good guy character.
I think,
he's a cop. Let's be honest. So it's a very classic conservative take. You know, they don't care until it happens to somebody they care about. Like, it's very believable.
And I mean, I just think it's just part of Odo's character. I mean, we've seen him do we've in the previous season in the time. Remember the time travel episode where they met their own descendants, and then it was Odo.
It was all about Kira.
Yeah, Odo sabotaged their attempt to save Kira. Like Odo, we know that Odo will put Kira before other people and will allow her well-being to influence his decision more than maybe others. That's just a part of Odo.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's good or not, whether that, like prevents him from being a hero or something I think is up to each individual's opinion. But I think
he has some heroic beats, but I mean, I don't think we're supposed to see him as a hero.
Well, no, yeah. Well, no, they go out of their way to remind you how complicated he is and how he's done really, really fucked up things in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's supposed to be an anti-hero, but yeah, they do remind us regularly that he's not war for Dax, the good guy characters.
Right. Because I mean, when Worf kills somebody, it's somebody who needs killing. Like Worf won't murder somebody. Worf will murder somebody back. Like they murdered somebody already. So Worf goes and kills them back.
After given the back and forth nature of the show, I see you somebody talking about the battle. I just scan it, and what stands out to me is Hastings, and I'm just like, oh, no, never mind. Battle of Hastings gives it a very, very, very different feel. They're all just Hastings. What are we doing here? I don't know.
Were you at this battle, my friend? Yeah, David, like Duras, exactly. That's my prime example of Worf killing somebody back. Duras killed Worf's girlfriend, so Worf killed him back. Nice, neat little transaction there.
Ta-da! Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm definitely, curious to see how they, and I have strong opinions on how Dukat should be handled. I mean, the whole he goes into like a psychotic break.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, really? I would have thought he could compartmentalize better than that, but
I love this. It's hard for me to pick my favorite Dukat episode because he has so many really great moments throughout the series, most of which we have seen by this point, although there are still a few to come. But that moment when he realizes that they've lost is I love that moment so much, where like, cause he's been so cocky the entire episode. He's been so cocky and so sure that this is it. They're going to win and this is going to be the day. And then, you know, the way Mark Alimo's line reading of, you know, victory was in our grasp. It's like it's
Yeah.
slipping away from him as he says it. It's just
Yeah.
so great. And you're just like, yeah, fuck you, you asshole. But it's just, it's so great to watch him just fall to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's right. It's like, wait, what? Everybody else is like accepting this. He's like, but how did this happen?
Yeah.
Well, not just we were so close, but like what actually, nobody knows. Everybody else is like, okay, so they're not coming. We're getting out of here. And he's like, but I mean, because what if they are? What if something happened? What if there were technical difficulties? What if they're still, you know, what if they're stuck in the wormhole when it closed? What happens to him then? You know,
Right.
I'm just like, you know, he is. It's not just. It is the beginning of the break. It's set. Arguably makes up him having the breakdown later more believable, even though it was like I was like, why is he curled up in a ball? Okay, I'm accepting that for now. Honestly, it would be easier for me to accept if he was faking that behavior.
Well, I will be very interested to see what you think about
that way, though.
I will be very interested to see what you think about where Ducat goes from here, because they take him in a few different directions between now and the end of the series. Some of them I like, some of them I'm not crazy about, but I will be very curious to see what you have to say. Who said, oh, Corman J says, Steve, say Duras like Gowron does. Duras. What do you say? Are we doing not Wordle or are we calling it a night? You seem like you're kind of. You want to go for it? Okay.
Yeah, I think let's go for it.
All right, let's go for it. And I need
a little singer. Today's been a rough day.
Okay.
I think I don't know.
Well, hopefully some not Wordle will fix it. So for anybody who's watching us for the first time and you don't know what this is, we're going to play Word Master, which is not Wordle. It's Wordle with the serial numbers filed off. And in a moment, everybody watching the live stream will see a Wordmaster board that we're all going to play together. Dana is actually not seeing it. She is just going by my description of the state of the game board. But Dana will take the lead and decide what words we guess and so forth. And you all watching can play along. If you have guesses or suggestions, go ahead and throw them in the chat and we will play as a group and hopefully solve the puzzle as a group. So here is the Wordmaster board that we will be playing tonight. And Dana, take it away.
Shall we start with H-E-A-R-T, heart?
Heart. Oh, wow. Okay, heart gives us nothing.
Well, let's move on to lions.
Lions. Okay, well, lions gives us an L and an O, but both in the wrong place.
Woo, okay.
So, hey, look on the bright side. We've crossed a lot of letters off the list. Off.
Okay. Oh, golly. O-L. What about could?
Ooh, we can try that. You want to try that?
Yeah, because that gets us a C and a D, moves the L and the O, and tries the U.
Yeah. Okay, let's try could. C-O-U-L-D.
Philip, it can't be cloud because the O is in the same place.
It's could. You got it. It's could.
Oh, I feel so smart.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I mean, it could have been wood just as easily. Yeah.
You know what? It could have been, yeah. But
or as Caitlin points out, mold. But I got a little bit lucky with that. But I figured C was the other reason I went with could instead of something else is that C is also a more common letter. Especially in case it was like C and then like CK at the end.
Yeah.
But thank you all.
You did it.
that was brief. So yeah.
Well,
so
you got your victory at the end of the day.
I did. I had Dan's on a high note. So very
Good.
very happy. And yeah, especially starting out with nothing.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of worried. I was like, we might not get this one, but then boom, that's it.
There we go. So yeah, don't forget, check out the description. We have some links to some organizations that we believe in their action, their causes. So if you have the ability to help out financially, that is one way that you can help out. And also we have charitylinks.page down and link to that as well, which is a list of friends and associates of ours who could use some financial support. So again, if you have the financial means to do so, you can help out. Another way that you can help out is if you are not already a channel member or a patron, you can look down there. There's a little button that says join. You can click that button. You can join this channel. You can join Steve's channel. Yay!
Yay!
And if you do that, you can also send in a question, because this Friday is Ask Way. So at the same time, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can join Steve and he will answer questions from his patrons and members at the beginning of the chat, and then he'll hang out with the rest of us for a little bit longer. And if you are a channel member or a patron, you can send in a question ahead of time, and Steve will read your question and respond to it. Let's just say as forthrightly as possible.
Yes, I won't be giving up my social security number or anything like that, but
no.
Yes.
And so you do it through your channel, or you can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives and you can become a patron there. And either way, you can send in a question. And if you haven't yet sent in a question, there's still time to do so.
Why do you look so guilty just now?
I haven't thought of what I want to ask yet. Okay.
You know, I mean, it's optional. It's not like you have to send in a question.
I know,
it's just if you happen to have one.
Well, and the other thing is the next two. Well, I think this is the last one I'm going to miss. I will not be here because I will be over at the park because I work Fridays and Saturdays. So I work till 8 on Friday.
Your summer job.
I got my summer gig going on.
Your
summer gig number 2, because I'm also still tutoring. I had tutoring today.
You're tutoring, that's right.
Yeah. Toot. So yeah, but yes, I will be thinking of you all and wishing I could be at home in the air conditioning, just watching the feed as I'm, as the temperature is just beginning to drop at 6 p.m. from, still, up at probably just below the 90s at that point. Hopefully it's below 90 at that point. Gravy. Some random geek already did it. Link down
plugged,
there.
But always good to have a reminder.
Yep. So yeah, HB Haga, fill out the Google form and send it in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I guess I could Google it, but then again, so could you.
Yeah. Well, yes, but if he asks it, then you get to inform all of your viewers on Friday.
That's true. Okay, so yes, this Friday is Ask Away, and then because this was it was Poirot last week, Deep Space Nine this week.
Means so because we get DS9 again.
Yes. And guess what next week's episode is, Dana? Guess what the next Deep Space Nine episode we're going to watch is?
Season 6, episode 7?
That's correct. And guess which one that is?
The Palate Cleanser.
Yes, actually. How'd you guess?
It's been in the chat several times.
It's the long-awaited Worf and Jadzia wedding episode.
Oh, boy.
Called You Are Cordially Invited.
I just have one question.
Yes.
Are there puffed sleeves?
There may be. I can't remember specifically. There may be. You know my favorite title for a wedding episode ever, right?
I don't actually.
It's the Lois and Clark wedding episode when Superman and Lois finally get married. And because they had done a wedding episode before that turned out it wasn't real, like they were supposed to get married, but then Lois she hit her head and she lost her memory. Like it was supposed to be the wedding episode, but then it was like a fake out and they didn't get married. Right. So the episode where they actually do get married is titled Swear to God, This Time We're Not Kidding.
Oh boy. Oh, Liz, there's a boob window. Oh my goodness.
Oh yes, there is a boob window. Yes.
Oh,
but for who?
I think you mean for whom, Steve?
For whom? That's what I want to know. For whom?
Oh, HB Haga, there are puppy sleeves. Oh, the fashion of my childhood.
David, I think the real life reason was because they wanted to sync it up with the comic book where Superman and Lois get married, but I could be wrong about that. But I do know that the comic where Superman and Lois got married in the comics at about the same time that they got married on Lois and Clark. And I think they wanted those two, like they wanted it to happen at roughly the same time, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering.
I was
but
just
I think
thinking they wanted to, they wanted to milk the series for more money.
Well.
All right. Well, alrighty. I don't know that I'll be looking forward to that one quite as much as I did this one, but I'm sure I'll still have a good time.
I hope so. All right, everybody. I will see you Friday for Ask Away, and then Dana and I will both see you next week for another Deep Space Nine. You are cordially invited. That's the name of the episode, and that's also out to all of you. You are cordially invited to join us once again. Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.
Oh, hang on. Caitlin says, may I request that you say boob window in your Gowron? Okay. How would Gowron say boob window?
Let's find out.
Boob window.
And on that note, everybody, good night.
You got it, Caitlin. Bye, everybody.